Our lesson is set during the reign of King Josiah of Judah around the late 7th century BCE. Josiah reigned over Judah during a period of significant political upheaval. The Assyrian Empire, which had been the dominant power in the Near East, was declining, and Babylon was emerging as the new power. Egypt was also playing a significant role in the geopolitical atmosphere. Judah found itself caught between these powerful empires. Josiah was a reformist king who sought to restore Judah to the worship of the true God Yahweh. He aimed to centralize worship in Jerusalem and to eliminate idolatry and pagan practices that had been widespread under his predecessor kings. Josiah's reign saw efforts to restore the temple and religious life in Jerusalem. The temple in Jerusalem was not just a religious site, but also an economic hub. The celebration of the Passover, as described in this passage, would have also involved significant financial outlay and been an economic stimulus. Josiah reintroduces the Passover, one of the most significant Jewish festivals commemorating the Israelites' liberation from Egyptian slavery. Josiah celebrates the Passover on the 14th day of the first month in strict adherence to the Mosaic law. And this was in contrast to the Passover that was held under Hezekiah's reign, which had been held later because he just wasn't prepared. This seems like a small act, but it looms large because it demonstrates Josiah's commitment to restoring the proper worship practices and, most of all, prioritizing the nation's spiritual health and religious values. Josiah is one of those leaders that pays attention to detail, understanding that he knows that his actions speak volumes to the people. Josiah assigns roles to the priests. They were the religious leaders of the time, and he encourages them to do their sacred duty. Under his predecessors, the temple had been desecrated, and the Ark of the Covenant was removed from the temple to protect it from the idolatry and the practices that were going on in the temple. Returning the ark to the rightful place in the temple was a profound act of spiritual restoration, symbolizing the return of God's presence to Israel. Josiah's instructions to serve the Lord your God and his people Israel reflects his understanding of the need for strong leaders in the religious matters. It points to the role of leaders in maintaining the spiritual health and the values of our churches and communities even now. The Levites and the priests were instructed to prepare themselves and organize according to the ancestral divisions, the tribes, and do the duties as set forth by King David and Solomon. This signifies a return to the idealized past where the kingdom was unified under a strong king, David and Solomon. Unity requires respect and equity, and Josiah organizes the Levites to distribute them among the various families, the various tribes and subdivisions of Israel, encouraging proper representation and participation in the celebration. This reflects the inclusive nature of the Passover celebration and the importance of unity amongst the tribes of Israel. It also symbolizes the nation's revival, its coming together as one Israel. Josiah commands the Levites to prepare the Passover, including slaughtering the lamb as prescribed by the Mosaic law. Josiah's attention to detail here following the rituals underscores the significance of observing and obedience in worship. It highlights that the idea of worship is not merely ceremonial. We don't say the words just to say the words, but it has a deeper meaning because it connects us with our community and helps connect us with our God. Each part of our ceremonies, now and then, the words, the music, the symbols, all mean something and are there to focus us and focus our attention on the worship of God. The Israelites observed the Passover, followed by the festival of unleavened bread, which together commemorated the exodus from Egypt. The celebration represents a reconciliation and a healing. In modern Christian terms, it suggests the importance of unity and coming together in faith, regardless of our division. This celebration was unprecedented, the most extensive and wholehearted observance since the days of Samuel, greater than the other kings. This date marks a significant turning point in Josiah's reign. It represents the culmination of his reform and says he is now determined to lead the nation back to its covenant, faithful relationship with God. Josiah's actions demonstrate how leaders can guide, encourage, and inspire others to act ethically and walk spiritually. That's the lesson for this week. Have a great week. Bye.